Hi, welcome to the Rebecca Valadez podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, you hit the like button, you share it with all your friends, and also you want to hit that bell over here to let you know when notifications are coming in. You don't want to miss one episode. Not one. Serious. I'll find you. We are rolling.
We are rolling. 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 Rolling with the podcast.
Okay. Welcome back to the Rebecca Valadez podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Valadez, and I am here with the most amazing, one of the most influential people in my career growing up. Not to say that you're older than me. I'm going to go ahead and say we're the same age.
I am.
Yeah, no, I'm not
I'll
going to.
be 50 in November.
No, you will not.
I will.
No, you will not.
Yes, I will.
No way.
See, so am I older than you? I am older than you. I know I am.
I'm going to be 42 this year.
Oh, God, really? We're not the same age then.
Anyway,
what are you talking?
Welcome to the podcast, Miss Shelly Lares.
Hello, yay! Thanks for having me, guys. I'm super excited to be, and I'm super proud of you, Rebecca.
Oh, thank you.
Because I think it's important, as you guys are beginning to become fans of her podcast, are noticing her crazy self. She cray. She's always fun.
I try.
Free.
I am free.
Love life.
It's America.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Yeah, it's great.
It's never a dull moment.
I don't know if you knew this, but today on the way here, literally in the car on the way here, I went live on Instagram.
Did you?
I did, talking about what was going to happen. And I think I told you earlier that I haven't been able to sleep because I've been nervous about this interview. And we're
like really good friends. That's what's crazy.
But that's like besides the point.
Yeah.
I think what people don't understand is you've been a Tejano celebrity since like you were what, 8? When did you do your first album?
Professionally, I started at age 10 in Tejano in 82.
See, most people that start out that young, maybe they don't have like the support that you had or that I had.
Yeah.
And it turns out really bad for them. It does. So I want to go over with you because in my mind, you're like the most positive person I've ever met. I'm like, what drugs do you take and where can I get them? Who's the name of your doctor? I need to make an appointment.
It's G-O-D.
It's G-O-D. And I wanted to go through that with you because as a teacher, I worked for the Network for Young Artists for a great number of years. And there's a lot of kids that came across our little stage there. And they have questions, not just for the kids, but for the parents.
Right.
What do I got to do to ensure the safety of my child? And for you and I both, like I started with, they were called Los Bad Boys de la Onda Tejana. And they were called that for a reason.
Exactly.
But I was protected through my mom and through my parents and, through a couple of the band members that knew I needed protection. Right. What was your experience knowing that you had your mom and dad on tour with you? What do you think was that factor that gave you that success and ultimately kept you safe all those years?
I wouldn't take it back, in a heartbeat, having my mom and dad tour with me. And most people think I'm an only child because they were always with me. But I had older siblings. But, the way that I got introduced to Tejano music, I only knew it on quinceañeras.
Me too.
Weddings, family functions. I would hear it. My brother-in-law was a huge Little Joe fan and David Modest fan. So I would hear his albums. I know, yeah. I would hear his albums. And so, we didn't plan on my going into the music business. I knew at a very young age, as you did as well, music was always in my household, okay? Because both of my parents are musically inclined. Mm-hmm. My dad was a musician with his brothers before I was born. My mom sang with my aunt. My brother played instruments, was in band. My sister Laura played instruments. My sister Patty sang. They all sang. So I knew, I don't know, I at a very young age, I knew I was very fascinated by music. So when I got in, and then when I practiced with the Hot Tamales band, which was an orchestra here in San Antonio, Tejano Orchestra.
It's also a food.
Yeah, who performed at my sister's wedding. They were a Tejano band. So when my sister asked me to sing a song with them, it was Olivia Newton-John that I sang, one song. And when they asked me to join the band, that's when, I started doing it on the weekends. And then they started asking for weekdays because we used to have the clubs that would play, open like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right?
What did your parents think?
So
of that?
my parents were like, okay, she can go perform. But it has to be early.
Right there.
There we go. It has to be early. Look at those guys. Look at those guys. And a lot of them were there.
Butterfly
some
collars.
of those were not there, but some of them were when I first joined it. Okay, so so they would be like, she has to perform early because she has school. Because then when they asked for me to become part of the band, that's when my dad kind of stepped up as kind of my manager. I mean, Hot Tamales had a manager, but my dad was more for me because the first year I didn't get paid.
Yikes!
From the first year I didn't get paid.
Your intern,
and
year.
we noticed the popularity growing because I was 10, but I think I looked like I was 8. People thought I was really young because I was always short and I looked really young, I guess. So we noticed that gigs started really coming in. So my dad was like, hey, Jimmy, Jimmy Jimenez was the manager. Shelly's got to get some money. So I started out making $10, Then I saved all my money. I was with them for 4 years. I recorded 45s.
Did you make $10 for 4 years?
I made $10 for like maybe a year. And then it kind of started going up. And he would pay me in ones. So I would think it was more.
It's so much.
I knew how to count, man. I went to Catholic school. We went to college preparatory school. So yeah, I knew it was the same amount. But it wasn't until like 14 when I told my dad, I kind of want to go on my own. I didn't want to stay in San Antonio.
That entrepreneurial ship.
Yeah, I didn't want to stay in San Antonio. I started wanting to have more control of my band, my music. And I learned so much from the guys from Hot Tamales. I mean, I watched, I learned, I recorded. I was, watching the engineers in the studio, and people wouldn't think so. I was a little girl, but I was watching and learning, absorbing. And,
did they teach you how to play any instruments at that point?
I started taking guitar in 4th grade and piano. But I quickly got
at home or at school?
At school. Privately, I was taking piano lessons, but I got bored very quickly because I was learning fast. But he didn't want to like keep going and teaching me chords. He wanted to keep me at his pace, and I was like ready to go, So I quit, but then I learned how to play by ear mostly. But so my parents owned a business when I was with Hot Tamales. They owned a rubber stamp engraving business. And when I decided to go on my own at age 14, I got my band together, local guys here. Dad was the manager. Mom would run the lights, do mom things too on the road. And then it wasn't until I signed my first contract that Manny Guerra, who was my first producer, told my parents, look, if Shelly's going to be successful, it's going to have to be full time. And by this time I was a junior in high school. And, so we talked about it, the three of us, and we're like, we knew nothing about the industry. We were going in green, just like a lot of people do. And we said, let's go for it. They closed the business, and they closed the business, and we went full time. And I mean, the struggles of the road there, and that's one thing I'm glad you touched on, because we both get a lot of young kids asking.
We do.
And I tell them, look, you can do it on your own. I'm not saying you can't, but it's very important that you have some sort of support group somewhere, whether it's a family member, a close friend.
Well, you need protection.
Yeah, you need protection because there are a lot of snakes out there. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of bad influences. And it's usually
the snakes that seem like the nicest people.
And they want to make money
trustworthy.
Yeah.
No, but don't trust anybody.
You can't.
Don't trust not one person.
No.
Never leave your child alone in a room or even in a bathroom.
No.
Ever. Nowhere.
Dad, my guys that we got in the band were all under 21 at the time. Okay. So I was 17. The guys were like 19, 18. And so, my parents kind of stepped in as the responsibility for these
to take
for
responsibility
these
for
guys
them as well, yeah.
And so they became their sons, and Dad taught them from day one. Look, we don't allow drinking, we don't allow drugs, we don't allow girls around. This is a job. That's one thing that my father did do at a very he instilled that in us. At first, it's a business, okay? We got to handle it like one. That was always, and we had rules.
It's a job that you can get fired from.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand. Well, it's music, and you can always get
no. You're still paying them, and they're still doing a job.
You can get fired from your job. It's a job.
Yeah, and and it was still Shelly Lares. It wasn't, everything they did was going to represent me. It was gonna shine on me. So, that's one thing that we did. So Dad would not, and he would tell the guys, and when you go to the gigs, I want y'all to go to the bathroom in pairs. if somebody offers you something or comes up to you.
And these things seem trivial, but they're I mean, it's
super.
It should be that way. It needs to be
People
that
need
way.
to know really what's behind the scenes as well. It's not just the glamorous part of the industry where you take pictures, you have your fans, it's all pretty. There's a lot of things that come into play, and only the strong survive in this industry, in music, period. Because don't forget, y'all, that we're in an industry where people can do without it. Okay. We're not a necessity, technically. As far as them going to our performances, everyone loves and needs music regardless. Music is the universal language everybody has in common. But,
they can have it from their homes.
Yeah,
they don't necessarily have to
They don't have to go out and see us, and pay to see us. Yeah. So, you have to keep that in mind. But I'm just very thankful that my parents were around. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there was pros and cons.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Pros and cons to having your family integrated into your professional life, because it easily can spew into your personal life. And
because you were probably going through those life-changing moments that every kid goes through.
Right.
You're hanging out with these teenage boys or whatever, and y'all just want to have fun and do whatever you want to do, and you can't because your parents are always there.
It was just, it's so many things.
Like you're going through hormonal changes. Yeah,
so many things came into play. I mean, even now I think about it, but I think it was just my respect level for my parents has always been very high. And so I was almost afraid at times to say things, because I didn't want to seem like I was disrespecting what they think is best for me. But as I got older, and even more so now, I'm like, wow, I really could have voiced my opinion early on. And there were times where I did. And my parents, my mom can tell you, of course, my dad has passed on, but my mom can tell you, there were many times where I'd be like, well, what if we did this? And we handle this. So it'd be like, okay, and I would step back. But I know that I had it within me once I hit my 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Because mind you, my mom's still on the road with me, guys. She's 82. I'm going to be 50. And she's still part of my career.
And she didn't get her firecracker.
I get it from my mama.
It didn't just manifest on its own.
I get it from my mama.
Yeah.
So, it's so weird because like now I look at it, I'm like, I was very capable. Okay. Because I did watch and learn. My father would say, I'm not always going to be here. You got to watch me.
Well, it's a question
even setting up a system. I know how to set up a whole sound system if I needed to.
Yeah, it's a question of confidence, really.
Yeah.
And then you get to that point where you've had somebody handle the reins of your career. And then at one point you literally have to say, okay, I think I am perfectly capable.
And this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, this is where I need to make these decisions for myself. I know myself.
Right.
I know what I can do. I know what I haven't done yet. I know what I want to do. And you're either on this ride with me and you're coming along.
Yeah.
Or you can be a family member and support me from the sidelines. But I'm going to do this.
And, now mom, I think she really sees my growth, as far as, now I have my own label, Shell Shock Records 3.
But was that difficult for her to just be like, okay?
Yes.
Was it?
Very.
To me, it breaks my heart.
And I wasn't taking it away from my mom. I just needed to change the way things were because, mind you, mom has always handled my finances. Thank God.
Yeah,
because she's always been very good with it. Mama can make a dollar stretch.
She's gonna have to handle my finances too.
Mama could make a dollar stretch, man, and that's one thing. And mom taught me how to, circulate my monies. There was times where we knew when an album was going to come out. So we had to save up for that, because people, it takes money too, guys.
It's a lot of money.
If you want it good and then you want it done right, you get what you pay for basically, right?
That's true.
So, but yeah, I think now I'm not taking it away from her. It's just now, technology has changed. When mama was really handling the finances, I wasn't selling merchandise like on my website like I do now. I wasn't getting downloads that all filter into my business.
All of that stuff sort of handles itself at some point.
And
too,
see, all of that,
automated.
all of those monies filter into my business, and mom doesn't know about it because I handle that. I handle the uploading of my music. My girlfriend and I handle my merchandise online.
I think people don't realize that, but the Tejano genre in general, there's so few of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that even if we were the number one artist, we're still there's still only so many people that we reach. We can only get so far.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we can only make it so far.
Unfortunately.
So we don't have record labels or anything handling this stuff for ourselves. So we do it.
Right.
Do it
I've had
ourselves.
to learn little strategies that work for me when I release music. When I upload it to introduce it to different countries. And I have, I just got a thing on Spotify that my LMD mix that I did of my song Siempre Lo Esperaré from 96. I did this dance version in 96 and it never was released by Sony. So now I have my whole catalog. That's something that I've worked for too.
So it's a fully
to
digital
have my catalog,
now.
right? So I have a big catalog, y'all. I've recorded 23 CDs.
Google.
So I have a
it.
lot of music that I've written and published and stuff like that. So I released it, but my strategy was different. I just made one different step than I normally do when I put up my Tejano stuff.
Put world
and that's when I
music?
put dance.
Oh, dance.
The moment I put dance, it just opened up a big group of countries that now are downloading my Tejano stuff.
That's great.
Yeah. I've had fans reach out to me from the Philippines, France, that hear something that they're familiar with in Tejano. Whether it's the bass line or whether it's the accordion. It's weird.
European
the accordion.
Influence.
Hello.
Yeah, it's a French thing.
So they hear it, and
France.
even in Germany.
And Germany.
Germany hear the German polka. And it's like, wow, what is this? Puerto Rico, or anywhere in that listen to a lot of salsa music, they hear the cumbia salsa.
And you're an established percussionist. Like, you're really good.
Well, thanks.
Man.
I never really I'll be honest, I'll never really consider myself good.
Well, see,
because I never applied myself to it.
Exactly. You have to have the confidence.
I probably could have.
Yeah.
I probably could have, but it was something I did. It was by accident by playing the timbales. I mean, I loved playing the drums because my brother was a drummer. And he had a drum set at the house. And he wouldn't let my sisters, I have two sisters, he wouldn't let them play. He would let me. And I have a scar on this right here from his cymbal. I had tripped and I fell on the cymbal. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have a scar from that.
Musical scars.
Musical scar, musical battle scar rather. And so one day, this was like in 91, I was performing in Dallas and we used to go sound check early. Dad would set up the sound. Daddy became sound engineer too.
Nice.
Roadie, sound engineer, driver, everything, security. So we were in the music store because we used to like to go look at the music store, kill time. And who doesn't, right?
I used to love putting the headphones on.
Yeah. And then you check the mics, all the different mics, right? It's fun. So I saw some timbales up there. And I was like, Dad, look at these timbales. They're cool, right? And I was just kind of like, I said, maybe I should add these to my show. And he's like, you think so? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I don't know how to play, but I'll try.
But like to set them up specifically
set them
for
up
you.
and play for me.
You, not for like
for me. No, for me.
Just for you, yeah.
So that night that I did, oh my God, you should have seen. This was before I recorded Soy Tu Amor, which was my #1 song in 94.
That song will get stuck in your head for a few days.
Yeah, it's one of those songs.
I
got sick of it.
I almost got into a fight a couple times because I was like, Soy Tu Amor.
I know, it's funny. So the moment that I played him that night, like everyone came to the stage and started taking pictures.
You freaked him out.
And I was like, wow, I really
was
have
freaked
something
out
here.
because I saw you do. I've only ever, we're as artists, we never get to actually see each other perform.
Yeah.
But I saw you perform once and you threw down on the timbales. I was like, what the heck? What is this?
Yeah, and people just love it. They love it now. And then I picked up the endorsement by Toca, and I'm with Toca for a long time.
Bam.
You know? And so, I mean, that's where Sheila E is signed with Toca, you know, and I did several clinics with her and stuff like that, which I thought was super cool. You know, and to be in the catalog of Toca, when, you know, it's just cool.
Bam.
So, I mean, I can't say by accident, because to me, God has our path. And,
well, it happened organically.
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah. It was the way it was supposed to happen. You know, and then just like anything else, you know, I mean, Manny believed in me too and allowed me to start producing my music.
Have you ever had like a percussionist come and audition for you, and then
the only time we did,
been like, I can literally play better than this guy?
The only time we did was when we did the Divas, Las Tres Divas, with Elida Reina and Stephanie Montiel and myself.
So you never had a percussionist in your band?
Never.
What?
Never. I've never had one, because we usually use the drum machine.
Look at that. Look at those sexy ladies.
Yeah, there's
right
the divas right there. There's my girls.
Aww.
Those are my sisters. That was a very interesting time with them too. But AJ Rock, the Flores, he was our percussionist.
The Tiny
divas.
Rock. I call him Tiny Rock.
But whenever I would play, it was part of the show where Steph would introduce me. Mm-hmm. And I would jump on the timbales over there by AJ, and he would play the congas, and I would throw down on the timbales, and it was part of the show. But the girls, that's not us.
Oh, that's not them.
Yeah, you were right.
That's Divas 3.
You were right over there. There we go. There we go. Yeah,
I think that the most interesting thing that I took from the couple of shows that I got to see of you live is, of all the people, male, female, I don't care who, you have such a natural presence on stage, and the way that you converse with your audience is like I'd never seen that before. I've always heard people like, I know, I couldn't do that. Yeah, and you spoke to the audience as if, and I always tell myself this because I stole that from you. And once I saw you do it, I was like, I should be doing that.
Well, they want to see your personality.
Right.
And you have an amazing personality. So when you let loose, you hear the people laughing. And one thing that I have to say is a blessing and a curse for Tejano music has been our accessibility.
That's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
What genre do you know that you're a fan of, that you can go see your favorite artist and then meet them on the side of the stage, talk to them, take a picture with them, buy their merch, and they sign it right on the spot?
None.
Where you don't get charged for it.
Just this one. Yeah.
Just Tejano. So it's almost like, what I mean by that's a blessing, because we get to be personable with our fans. We get to talk to them. We get to know them.
It's a blessing if you're a dude.
But then,
if you're a woman,
but then as an artist, it takes away the curiosity.
And they tell you that you need to be not so accessible.
Not so accessible. Yeah. And me, I guess it kind of became part of who I am, because I don't want to make people feel like I'm just trying to be, and it has nothing to do with being better than someone, but that's just me. Like I would rather talk to my fans and get to know them. And I have 4 generations of Shelly Lares fans in my career.
Thin line.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, but you're right. No, and I like to joke around. And when I did the Diva, show, automatically, like I turned into like,
the MC.
The MC.
I was going to ask you that. Were you the MC? Because you exude that natural confidence
and I guess
on stage.
I kind of did. And I have no problem in building up my sisters or my brothers in the industry.
So easy to. Why don't you have your own podcast, Jelly? What's going on here?
Because I'm a Rebecca podcast fan. That's why. Watch out. No, shut up. But I don't know. It just came natural. And then that's why, now I have Shelly's All-American Showcase is part of the Tejano Music National Convention in Vegas.
Thank you for that.
And I host that show. That's my stage because David and Sarah Chavez for We Are Ingenuity asked me, because, you have to be able to relate to the crowd and know when to wing it too, because there's time where we have technical difficulties and you have to talk to the fans.
But not everybody can do that. Like I know that you probably know this about yourself, that you have this capability, but anybody else, if given that platform, would have been like,
and you know
I don't
what?
know what to do.
It goes back to my hot tamales days. Mm-hmm. Because when I came in, we would do like the quinceañeras, and they had to read the whole court.
Really?
They had to read it. When they're introducing them and they walk in, the bride and groom and everybody, or the sponsors, they had me do it because they were embarrassed. I hate doing here was a 10-year-old little girl, 11-year-old little girl, and I'm introducing the court. And I think I have to say thanks to Hot Tamales, because maybe they're the ones that kind of, groomed me to do that.
It's a muscle that you have to flex. It's a confidence muscle that you have to flex.
And I tell everybody this: if you're comfortable, you're not growing. Okay, It's okay to be uncomfortable.
It's okay to puke before the show.
It's all right, guys. Yeah. I mean, it's part of growth, and I feels good when you talk about how I exude positivity, because it's taken me a long time to really find true inner peace. Okay, and I think we need to have that as human beings. And once you do as a human being, it just exudes and spills over into everything that you touch, whether it's your family life, your personal life, your business, your friendships. It goes into
most
everything.
people don't do that though. Like you're really the exception. And so I'm gonna stop you there and say you really are the exception, because I know I've been around the world and I've worked with some of the most successful people. I've hung out with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
I know, and those that's mind blowing.
All these big people, and there's only a handful of people that are able to own success and then just be like, hey, kid, we're cool. Don't freak out. I'm just a human being, but I'm also badass. It's a weird weird juggle.
I guess it's always been hard for me to like toot my own horn, for lack of better words. Look at that.
At one point,
they're amazing, dude. They are so amazing. What I could even imagine. I would just love to like be a fly on the wall in their production time.
Jimmy's the nicest guy.
Yeah, and most of them are. And there's just musical geniuses.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's so cool, because
I hate people like that.
I know, right?
Dang it. Everything you do sounds
And they don't
awesome.
realize, people like that don't realize like the influence in Tejano too that they've had in Tejano music. Because, Selena was my best friend for a very long time, and she was a huge Janet fan.
I remember her doing the
Babyface,
just like
Babyface and all that. Oh, she could dance, man.
She was a great dancer.
And she loved their work.
She loved
their work.
Janet's backup dancer, what's her name? Now I forget it. Now that I need to know her name. She married Babyface.
Wow.
Yeah, after the Janet Jackson tour.
Are they still married?
They're still married.
Wow.
They have a beautiful daughter who is she's a guest kids model.
That's crazy.
Nikki Panton, there she is right there. This is a funny story. You're going to laugh so hard
she's beautiful.
Right now. That picture on the top left, that's Nikki on the Velvet Rope tour.
That's the tour that you were on.
That's the Velvet Rope tour right there.
Sweet.
And it was Nikki's birthday or somebody's birthday, and I think we were in like Copenhagen or somewhere. And it's the only picture.
Oh my God, look at her abs.
That I know.
That's all I can look at right now.
She lost so much weight so quickly. I'm like, what is your secret?
I know.
She never ran. She walked at an incline.
Well, most people, if you want to get a body like that, you don't have to run. There's certain things you could do that, but I'm just a runner, period. But I don't have abs like that.
Man, Nikki was sitting next to Janet in this picture, and I showed my mom the picture.
I remember that girl's face.
Yeah,
I do.
My mom said, Rebecca, I've never seen you look more beautiful than you do in this picture right here. And I was like, Mom, that's Nikki Panton.
Oh, your mama.
That is not
God
even
rest
me,
your mama
Mom.
so. I love your mama.
Son of a motherless girl.
Your mama was a trip, dude. No, but let me tell you about that real quick. You had already done some work with me on, I think it was my 98 album, which was Donde Hay Fuego. You sang backups on Te Quiero. Yo te quiero, por tu amor me desespero. You don't remember that. And then you did another song, Dame tu amor, that I wrote, and you did some badass stuff on that.
I did?
Backup, yes. Well, anyway, then I hadn't seen you since then on the Velvet Rope tour. And I was at that show here in San Antonio. And I'll never forget when they introduced you, dude. I swear to God, I was like lump in my throat, super proud that you were representing us.
Nobody believed me, Shelly.
No.
Nobody from school. They were like, you didn't tear
Janet Jackson. You know what? And you know how I knew about you from the first time? Brad Green.
Oh, I
remember Brad Green was, he was an engineer that I worked with when I was with Tejas Records. And he was a huge fan of yours.
He's a nice guy.
Like Brad loved you. And when I was going to look, he's the one that recommended you when I called you for that album. And then you and I went on to do, Las Voces, and we got to do several mariachi performances together.
Those were fun.
So it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's when I really started just seeing like how cool Shelly was. Yeah, or is how cool. I was like, Shelly's cool, man. We need to hang out more. Shelly's cool. I want to be her friend.
I just like to have fun. And
I just want to be Shelly's friend.
I love to be able to collaborate. I don't feel like there's enough collaboration in Tejano music. Some people can criticize me for doing so many, but I don't care because
what do we have to lose?
But people don't understand. I get asked by not only veteran artists but new artists, and I never tell them no because I feel like, why would I do that?
Like it, Birdie.
Look, oh yeah, there we are.
Get Birdie.
There's,
Look at that
there's
hair.
my friend.
Man, those are the...
There's my friend.
I remember those hair days.
That was in 1992 at my performance at the Market Square. We are in the back of my U-Haul. The reason we had to be in there is because fans were kind of freaking out that Selena was at my show because she never got to go see me perform.
We never get to see each other do stuff. Yeah.
She never got to go see me, and that was an opportunity, and she got on stage. Aww. I used to have a song called Ojitos Negros, and she loved that song. So I got her up there, and then when they found out she was there, they were kind of like, you know, really wanting to be around her. So we had to put her in the back of my truck so she could watch me. And nobody
had to
put
a mustache on her and put her in the cabin.
Yeah, you know, I it's so strange, especially on my Instagram. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of her fans that are on my Instagram, like a lot. I'm talking thousands, guys. Wow. That reach out to me. Oh wow, I've never seen that picture before. The one of the collage.
On the net. I remember on the net.
Dang. That's that picture where to the right in the middle, we had froze, man. That was like in 1988, right there.
Oh, dude, how old were you in there?
You
look like
in 1988, right there, we were 14. She was only 7 months older than me.
That's crazy.
So we were the same age. She looked
You look like a little baby.
I've shared this before, y'all, because that's my friend Jessica in the middle of us there. She's the one that took the picture of the two of Selena and I, and then we got her in there and we squished her.
Dude, back then y'all had, like, I see the light beer, Miller Lite.
Oh God!
What was it like being able to get
I'll be honest with you.
Back
I'll be honest with you. I hadn't even had one drink of alcohol at that age.
Oh my goodness!
I was holding a beer I had never tasted before. I didn't have my first alcoholic drink casually till I was 30.
Do you remember getting tore up from the floor up ever?
Yeah, of course. On my birthday.
On your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I got tore up from the floor up for the first time on my birthday. We were in Canada. It was on a Janet tour.
Yeah.
Because in Canada, you can drink at 18. So Janet's like, I'm going to take you.
Oh, dang,
We're going to take you to a nightclub. And I was like, what? Okay. And my parents were flying into town. And they were in my hotel room. I was like, she wants to take me out. I'm going to go out. Y'all want to stay here? So they stayed at the hotel room while I went out clubbing with Janet Jackson. And I got tore up from the floor because I didn't know nothing about alcohol. She was like, what do you want to drink?
See, right there on that's my birthday, but I was working. I'm not drunk.
That's the only thing that sucks.
That's when I was.
You have to host your own birthday.
That's when I was chubsy, man.
No, I'm not chubsy.
Oh yeah, I definitely. I want to say 1998 to 2001.
See, she says chubby, but she was probably like 98 pounds in that picture.
I was about almost 50 pounds overweight.
No, but
I was, seriously. And then I'm small, I'm short, so any weight is going to really show on me. But I was very unhealthy. Look at our cheeks there. That was in 1987, right there, where Selena and we were at Rosedale Park.
Aww.
She performed that day.
I miss Rosedale Park.
Yeah, she performed that day. And, that's before she could hang out in the audience. That's after the show. Aww. And we were chatting with some of the little girls that were there. And we wound up taking a picture with them. But those were fun times, man. I mean, I get asked, like I was telling you, and we were talking about young kids. I just got an Instagram message from a young boy. His name is Nate from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And Nate he's a makeup artist.
Nice.
So he goes, is this really Shelly Lares? And most fans don't. And I have a lot of social media. Okay. I have my Shelly Lares fans, which is my main page.
I never know.
And I think because people say fans, they think it's not me, but it's me. It's just my fan page that I handle. Then I have my Shelly Lares Facebook, and I have my Instagram, which is Miss TNT. I have my Twitter, Miss TNT. Snapchat is more for my friends. And now I have TikTok. So yes, I'm the one that answers everyone. And he says, is this the real Shelly Lares? And I said, yes, it is. I answer all my own, fans when I can, because I get messages a lot. And I try to get them. And he's like, was fascinated because he's a huge Selena fan. Oh. And he's like, oh my God, just please tell, what was she like? And that's the question a lot of people ask me. And Rebecca knows, I don't really do very many interviews about her because, that was,
well, it's a loaded subject. That's a long conversation.
It's a long conversation. Yeah. And then there's a lot of memories that I just like to save for me, But I do say she's everything you would have imagined, amazing person, funny, goofy, good heart, whatever. And then come to find out that he's a fan of mine and hers. He likes Ariana Grande. He likes Whitney Houston and wants to be a singer. He's like, and I want to sing Tejano.
No, and he's from what, South Carolina?
North Carolina. And he's a little white kid.
Oh my goodness.
He says, but he's afraid he won't be accepted because he doesn't speak Spanish. And I said, really? Because neither do I, really?
Yeah,
I said, no, don't. And he sent me his TikTok and he's in full makeup. Amazing, flawless makeup.
I'm jealous.
And he sings great.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So I'm at the point where I told him exactly what you said. I'm like, I'm trying to find out his support group. Because according to him, he's like, once I turn 18, I'm on my own type thing. So that kind of scares me.
Is that because of the makeup thing? Is he lacking support from his family for that reason?
Who knows his really private family life? That I don't know yet. But I'm still kind of getting to know him. But I'm kind of just trying to be encouraging and asking him, well, what do you do? He's like, well, I have a job at Taco Bell. And I also do makeup at my uncle's salon. So he's making money for himself. I said, save your money. And so this is kind of where we're at. But like, this is what I mean. Selena continues to be this bridge that connects me and her fans, and then they become Shelly fans. It's weird. After the Selena Netflix series, people didn't really know me and they were Googling me. And I was getting so many messages from all over the country of people, asking me questions and stuff. But I guess that'll never go away. That's just someone that will always be a huge curiosity, and they're like, oh my God, you're so blessed to have been around her. And I'm like, yes, I have. Absolutely.
Well, now that you've had all of that experience and you're just about to release an album, I know that you had mentioned you had some other things in the future for you that did not include music. That's something that you were very passionate about. Look at that.
Yeah, that's my latest album, Obra de Amor. That was, I have to say thank you to Himencio Castillon.
Awesome. Yeah.
And of course, my beautiful girlfriend, Mia, for doing my makeup and styling me and going and buying that dress the same day.
What?
Yeah, she's an amazing shopper.
The only person in the world who can put a dress on.
And then that one right there, Mil Besos, the one in the blue, that was my 2000 CD. I had just lost my father. I didn't lose my father. I'm sorry. He had just had a stroke.
Oh,
that album was very therapeutic for me. It was probably it has to be my favorite album to date. I was singing songs like Esa Química que Tienes that are happy songs. And I would sing them in the studio and then I would go outside and I would cry because that's when things kind of changed. After my dad had a stroke, he got off the road.
Well, he was that source of sort of stability.
Yeah. Both your and then there's my big hair. My hair was super red.
That's the one that we found. It was like $60-something at a CD exchange.
See, fans that are watching right now that maybe are not familiar with Tejano music.
There was a Maz one for like $999.
Okay, fans that don't know Tejano music. Okay, there was now when you look back at my catalog, unless it's something that's under Shell Shock Records 3, which is my own label now. They don't manufacture this music anymore.
Right.
Okay.
It's all digital now.
So fans, when they come across an actual CD like that, it's a collector's item. It's a collector's item. But because they didn't manufacture or even digitally, all of my albums were not up on digital until now. I own my whole catalog.
Nice. So
they can download my entire catalog on my website. That's the only place that all of my catalog is available. You'll find some on, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever.
Well, like even the Selena stuff, because I did an album for Mr. Quintanilla after Selena had passed.
Yeah.
Where I did all the backup vocals, and I can't find that album anywhere. Where is it? It's not digital. It's not
and it may be that he's still not on the game of making it available.
I guess.
It very well could be. I don't know, or maybe he just doesn't want to.
I just want to know that there's something out there.
Yeah, so there's the website. My girlfriend's my webmaster too.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's
I really
amazing.
wish you could have been here today.
Yeah, she sends her love.
Hey, you, I bet you thought the podcast was over, but it's not. I just want to make sure that you know that I'm not just a podcaster, I'm a singer too, and I've got some really great music that you can download at my website, RebeccaValadez.com. That's RebeccaValadez.com.
My soul.